around the globe because Earth is real ghetto. And maybe you haven't found the right place to live yet where you're currently at right now. Well, locational astrology, or better known as astrocartography, can help you find that place that might be good for you. All right, stay tuned. My name is Irene Storm Crew, aka Irene Storm, your evolutionary root work astrologer. So if you are ready to transform with the storm in astrology, then you've come to the right place. All right. Let's go ahead and talk about the moon today. All right. We'll be talking about the moon, your own personal moon sign, the energy of the moon sign, and what it means, or moon energy, and what it means in astrocartography or locational astrology. Okay. So let's get into it. Now, this can range when we talk about locational astrology. It just depends on what the energy that you are looking for. You know, some people come about work. You know, some people come about, places that they want to go and heal. Some people is looking for their partners and their lovers and things like that. It all depends on the vibe and it all depends on the energy. So it's going to be up to you what you're looking for, right? When we talk about that moon, moon energy is the roots. It is our spiritual gifts, our instinctual habits, our emotional state, our inner child, our relationship to our mother, okay, or the energy of the mother. This is when we go into our moon and when we begin to understand the moon, also to past lives as well. When we understand the intricacies of the moon, it gives us a deeper internal understanding and knowing of ourselves. So the moon energy, you can definitely see maybe places where you want to go to retreat. I mean, if that's like physically retreat from a place, or if you want to actually go to like a physical retreat, maybe this is a place that helps you heal your inner child or even your relationship with the mother. Now, if you would like to see how I particularly look at a chart, I'm sorry, that's evolutionary astrology, but I do have cheat sheets also too available with the link below that talks about these different types of energies that you can check for as a PDF offering, or a digital offering, I should say. So you could definitely check that out if you're interested. But when it comes to astrocartography, specifically for the moon, retreat spaces, healing spaces, maybe you were wanting to look deeper into your past. Maybe you want to get some emotional healing. Maybe you want to, go to like a sacred space or a sacred land or something like that. Maybe you want to, heal relationship, with your mother or divine feminine energy. So you go to one of these places and you maybe end up getting, or just working through some mother issues or some divine feminine things that maybe you hadn't settled in a previous past lifetime. You can also see that energy here. I also do, I think, yeah, it'll still be available when this drops until July 11th. I will be having free donation-based astrological read. Let me make sure while I'm recording this. Yes. So until Thursday the 11th, because this will be dropping on July 10th. If you would like to get a astrocartography reading, I'm doing them on the donation basis till tomorrow. All right, so make sure you go check that out. That's also in the description box below. Okay, so these are some of the energies that you can see here with the moon sign, in developing your psychic abilities as well, or any type of spiritual abilities. You can also see with the moon things. Now, well, before I do move into like the ascendant, descendant, all that stuff, this can be a very emotional place to be. It can also feel like home as well, but it can also be a very emotional space and place to be in. So I just want to bring that to your attention. If you are looking to move or to live or to visit in these places, it can just bring up maybe some suppressed, because the moon is hidden. Okay. The moon hides from everything else. All right. And maybe only the people that really, 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 really know you, they understand this energy, or they're very familiar with this energy when it comes to you. Okay. So just keep that in mind when we are talking about the moon and its energy here, because it can be, as much as fulfilling it could be emotionally, there can also just be some stuff that might trigger you here as well too with the moon. Okay. So we're going to talk a little bit about going through the ascendant. So if you have like a moon ascendant, which is your rising sign as well, if the moon is here, also your IC, which is your home, family, and roots, descendant line, which is like relationships to other people, And then your MC, which is like the highest part of your chart and usually has to do with your um, the alignment of your life purpose, destiny, and things like that, the legacy that you're meant to also leave behind as well. Okay. So when you have a moon ascendant sign, some of the things that you could possibly and potentially see, moon ascendant line, you can definitely see personal development when it comes to your overall emotional state here. There might even be some comparisons when you come to this particular area in your on, I would say, the locational astrology map that maybe have you address some relationships or relationship to the divine feminine or a mother figure in your life, that maybe some of these things come up and have you like reflecting on that particular relationship here, because essentially the environment that we grew up in definitely influences us in our outer world. And so with that being said, your rising sign being the energy that you are meant to embody and learn in this lifetime, uh, some of the things that you've taken from your roots, your childhood upbringing, things could have heavily influenced you throughout your life. And so maybe going to an ascendant moon sign can really uh, maybe resolve if there has been some issues or there were some issues with your relationship to your mother or relationship to the divine feminine, or just hidden parts of yourself that you never really fully resolved. But this can also be a place where you feel like emotionally comfortable and emotionally fulfilled as well too, depending on your chart. You know, can feel like a sense of like being seen, being felt, being, maybe people nurture you in this space. Maybe people like really see you in the intricacies of even some of the things that you try to hide as well. And for some people, that vulnerability can feel, because moon is vulnerable. So maybe for some people, it could feel a little off-putting a little bit. But for some who are interested in that energy, like I said, depending on your whole chart, that's something that can also be experienced here too. Or maybe you are really in tune with your higher self in this energy, because again, moon rules over like past lives and stuff. So maybe you start to feel, maybe some energy that you experienced in a past lifetime that you're like, wow, like I feel like I'm really coming back into myself, or I'm really coming back into like my inner child. Now, if you have a moon IC line, all right, this is where we talk about like roots on roots. All right, roots on deck. All right, like this could probably be like a sacred place or a sacred land, maybe somewhere that you've lived in a previous incarnation as well here too. Maybe you're into, because moon also has to do with time. So maybe you're going to like a historical site, or learning about like ancient, I don't know, ancient astrology or ancient, things that happened in simultaneous or, previous incarnations and lifetimes as well here too. Or maybe you go back, maybe these are like I said, your home and family roots that you were connected to, whether you're privy to it. So maybe whether you've known it already or you didn't know it already in a particular lifetime. If you go to like a moon IC line and you're like, I feel like I've been here before, it's probably because you have. It's probably because it's a place that you experienced in a previous lifetime on this particular line. Now, if you want to go into like your descendant line, which again is at seventh house, IC is fourth house, first ascendant is first house energy. So if you get into the descendant or DC, sometimes you could call it line, this is where you can also see your relationships to other people. Maybe you find a partnership that is emotionally fulfilling, or maybe you have like you're intimately connected, because seventh house is like intimate connections. This is like marital partnerships. This is contractual agreements, whether that's like karmic or spiritual contractual agreements, or like physical business contractual agreements. So maybe you do, for example, if you're in some type of business or have some type of trade or business, maybe you have a business or something like that that feels very emotionally fulfilling, or you're working with people that make you feel very emotionally fulfilled. Or like I said, it could go either way depending on that chart. Definitely want to check that out and see how maybe other people are, maybe even people are like mirrors to you in this particular area of life. Maybe they show you parts of yourself that you've hidden or hide, because seventh house can also be like mirroring energy, like people who mirror you, mirror certain parts of yourself that maybe that you haven't like full on, you know, uh, come to terms with or grasp, maybe some things that you tried to hide, and then you go to this moon descendant line and you're like, oh, am I really like that? Is that me? Are they, you know, I'm not saying, sometimes mirrors can be mirrors, but sometimes you just experience people in this lifetime. You feel me? So take it as you will. Now, if you have a moon on your uh, MC line, which is the top of the chart, which is like your life purpose, this is also your, like, I would say life purpose is like the top of the chart that makes you feel like the most fulfilled. It's like the public eye energy, usually, um, you know, stuff that you've always wanted to like accomplish in this lifetime. And it doesn't have to be financial goals. This can just be like your overall alignment of life purpose. Um, I would say, especially because moon is hidden here, it could play off in a couple of ways. Maybe you want to hide from that, right? Maybe you want to hide from like your life purpose, or it's it's tied into the things that make you feel emotionally fulfilled. So for example, maybe let's say your moon is in Virgo and you have a MC here, you have a moon MC line here, and it's in this energy. So maybe you are into um gardening or some type of physical spiritual healing and things like that, like you're a personal trainer or something like that, but you don't always necessarily put yourself out there because the moon is here. And so maybe you kind of want to hide a little bit, you know what I'm saying? Or maybe people who know you, because usually MC also too is like where you're well known, or you're, you know public, usually like public eye kind of energy here. Maybe people kind of know you like word of mouth, kind of energy here. Like it's very personable when people get to know you. Like, I don't know. It seems more so like a energy where people have to know you to be connected to you. That's usually how you kind of show up in like those spaces and things like that. Like by word of mouth or something. You can kind of see with this energy here. Okay, so that's a little bit what I have about the moon lines in astrocartography or locational astrology. Again, until tomorrow, donation based readings on the astrocartography while Venus is in Cancer and I'm feeling a little generous. All right. Also, too, the link to the kind of how I would read, or not how I would read. I keep thinking about evolutionary astrology, but just kind of like a breakdown of like the sun, moon, all these different lines on one sheet. So you could have that for you. You could print it out, do whatever you want with that particular PDF file that's downloadable. And personal readings also too available as well. So y'all definitely make sure that y'all like, share, subscribe on the video. Please leave me a comment down below, and also be sure to subscribe to the free newsletter also as well down below in that description box. So you already know what it is. It's a rainy storm checking in without a doubt. I will see y'all in the next video. Deuces.